Alright, so you've probably heard about the red pill, the blue pill, even the black pill, right? But have you heard about the pink pill? And do you know what it has to do with the color beige? Welcome back to the channel. How you doing? I hope today's going well for you. Grab a seat and get comfy because today we're going to be looking at the opposite of the manosphere and the red pill. That being their close sisters, the pink pill and the soft life girlies. Given the rise and success of the red pill, there was bound to be a female equivalent of women who want to make money online under the guise of female solidarity and empowerment. But similar to the red pill guys, there are women online who push back against the pink pill because they see the downsides of where this kind of philosophy will lead women. The women who believe in and live by the pink pill or the soft life philosophies tend to have issues down the line, because these philosophies lead you to looking for a partner that's more financially capable of providing, as opposed to somebody that's actually a good partner with good qualities that lead you to have a happy relationship. You can have a mixture of both, but it seems like they're more focused on the financial part of things. The soft life girls are the flip side of the manosphere, and they tend to present themselves online, at least, as women who are living a life of luxury and tranquility. Behind closed doors, the truth is a bit different. These women are pretty much very similar to the alpha male guys, in my opinion, because what they're trying to do is sell you on an ideal that you may never even be able to reach. But because you can't reach it, you would continuously need their coaching and products. It's a way to make money. That's the way I see it. What they're doing is trying to sell you coaching sessions and other products to help you to achieve the lifestyle that they portray that they have, and also to find a high value male. But the problem is, some of these women themselves, they're not in relationships, they don't have a high value male, and they're trying to present themselves as something that they're not. Okay, let's look at the pink pill. The pink pill is another pill category that came from the Matrix. It is similar to the other pill philosophies where basically taking the pill will allow you to change your perspective and worldview. But it focuses on the female sides of things, and primarily it focuses on trying to get a high value male. Now, there are some positives to the pink life or the soft life, such as trying to find a good partner, trying to empower women. That's all good. The problem is, you have some snake oil saleswomen that have joined and they're just trying to make a quick buck, selling you guides and coaching sessions that aren't really helpful, and they're giving you bad information, in all honesty. As it goes for the pink pill, there are two main categories that I can gather from doing some research here. The radical or strong feminism side. These women are focused on building and maintaining female spaces while rejecting men, and women who are performative towards men. They're called pick-me's. I didn't know that actually. And they're doing this so they can build a space that women can grow and empower themselves. These women are focused on their own financial, social, and personal growth, similar to the MGTOWs. Now, it's quite interesting to see, but throughout this video, you're going to see some parallels between men and women with these different pill philosophies. Next is the hypergamy and social building or social climbing category. Now, these women are focused on finding a high value man in terms of looks, social status, and or money. And what they're trying to do is using their own looks to nab one. This lends itself really well to looks maxing because these women are going to try to use their looks to attract a male. They use the basics like fitness, working out, and diets, similar to the alpha males, but they have more tools at their disposal, such as skincare, makeup, and surgical procedures. Now, the dark side with surgical procedures is they can go awry, they can go wrong, and in some cases, they're pretty expensive, so women will try to cut costs by going to cheaper surgeons. The problem with that is that sometimes it can leave them disfigured or end up in death. So you can see that these women are willing to put their lives on the line just to look good enough to get a high value male. This is not something that you should look at them as they're bad or evil or manipulative. Some are. The reality is some people grew up in a lower socioeconomic class, and they see this as a method of moving themselves up out of poverty, living a nice life, living a soft life. So try to look at these women with the understanding of they're trying to improve themselves, they're trying to live a better life, and they're willing to do whatever they can to do it. Different people have different thresholds, but some people are willing to go the whole way. Now, let's break down how exactly they sell you things. The looks maxing or the aesthetic sides of things is pretty interesting with women, because the women here try to make themselves look as good as possible to attract a male, but not good enough or not too sexy so that women think they're trying too hard. They're pick-me's. You don't want to be a pick-me. So what they try to do is attract men, look attractive enough to men, but in a tasteful way that women will look at them and say, oh, she looks nice. I would take advice from her. And she's gonna sell you that advice. And from what I can see, a very interesting trend with the soft life girls is that there's a lot of beige. There's just a lot of beige in their aesthetic. It's really interesting when you ding that. They really like that color for some reason. I guess it sells tranquility and purity, but to me it sells a template. Another thing I try to sell is the luxurious lifestyle of the soft life. And what they do is actually record their content in places like fancy apartments, nice homes, and vacation spots. But keep in mind, you can pay to basically do a shoot in a very nice apartment as opposed to it actually being yours. So whatever you see online when it comes to someone trying to sell you a luxurious lifestyle, be very wary, because it could be that it's all faked to get you to believe that they're living a life that they're not actually living. They also want to sell you on the fact that they either have a man or they can get men. Now this fulfills the relationship portion of things. Typically it's made to look like the man is funding everything, but sometimes behind closed doors, it's all a ploy. She actually incurred some debt to make it look like he's providing that lifestyle when he's probably not, or she's the one funding it legitimately through the revenue from courses and coaching sessions that she's having with the women who are trying to get that guy who isn't really that guy. He's just like he's like a toy. He's an accessory. He's just there to look good and say he's just there to look good. That's all he's there for. Now, these men also have a secondary purpose. They act as the good example of a high value man. So that way, the audience will look at this man and say, oh, if she's able to get him, maybe she can help me to get one too. And finally, you can't have the soft life without nice toys. And these women display lots. They're very strategic with what they do, right? So like the nice dresses, the nice outfits, the nice shoes, the luxurious items, fancy bags, the cute doggy. They try to present themselves in a way that's compelling for you to follow them and believe that they actually live that life. If you're paying attention here, you're probably seeing some similarities between the pink pill and the red pill, the alpha males, right? They're using a similar playbook in the fact that they'll try to display their aesthetics with muscles and nice clothes, nice suits. They'll also display how much wealth they have. They always got money around. In addition to that, they got women. So in their videos, you're gonna see them with a lot of pretty women around. And finally, they have toys. They have the fancy watch collection. They have multiple cars that they show off because they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to compel you to follow them. They're trying to get you to believe that they live this life. Remember that. They're trying to get you to believe it. It doesn't mean that they actually live it. When it comes to these women online, it seems like they present a nice package, right? But when you really look at it, they're selling the same things that the alpha males are selling, which is coaching sessions and digital products. But my issue here is, do these things actually have value, A, and B, who is this actually helping? Like, I don't see anyone online talking about taking some course from a red pill soft life girly and it actually helped them. So to me, I'm sitting here thinking, is this actually valuable? Who are you helping? Are you helping anyone or just yourself? And to me, it seems like they're just helping themselves. Earlier in the video, I did allude to the fact that some women who live the soft girl, pink pill lifestyle do have issues behind closed doors. And to me, it does seem quite dark depending on who you look at. Now, we're going to look at two women at the top of the pink pill in terms of being influencers. They're very successful at what they do. But I'm not trying to spread hate on them. I'm not just trying to say that they're evil. Instead, I'm using them more as a cautionary tale. What these beliefs and philosophies lead you to do isn't necessarily good for your long-term health. Now, these philosophies can lead you to search for a partner who isn't necessarily good. It could be that they're a bad dude, and that can have really serious repercussions for you down the road. All right, number one, we're going to look at the Wizard Liz. First off, that name is amazing. I wish I could get that name. That is a really cool username. Now, the Wizard Liz is a big YouTuber in the pink pill space, and she basically focuses on creating content to empower women, to teach them how to find a high value man, and to become better people. Some of her content is actually pretty good. While watching some of her videos, I could see that she was constantly making fun of men. And to me, it didn't really hurt. If anything, it felt similar to the alpha males, because it seems like if you're this kind of content creator, you need to be making fun of the opposite sex in order to keep your audience happy. They're looking for that kind of content. So if you want to become successful, this is the game that you really have to play, whether or not you believe it. I think some of these people actually do believe the hatred that they espouse for the opposite sex. I kind of believe that they believe it to some degree. There's a limit to how many jokes you can make and say that, hey, I don't believe what I'm saying. If you say the same thing repeatedly, there's probably a belief there. While watching her videos, she talks about basically manipulating men to get the things that you want from them, which is not something I personally agree with, because you're not building a healthy relationship at that point. But if it works, then it works. The sad thing is, what kind of relationships are you building when you use these methods? All right, so her embodiment and belief of the pink pill basically led to her downfall. Granted, she's still a successful creator, a bit worse for wear given what happened. And I'm going to try to summarize. You can actually go online and watch videos of what happened to her. But the long and short of it is, she got married to a man called Landon Nickerson, who's a famous YouTuber. He was basically the target, a high value male that can provide financially. Things went for a turn for the worst. So basically 4 months into her pregnancy, she was 4 months pregnant, he cheated on her. And this came out and it was a big scandal online. Not only did he cheat on her, everyone on the internet found out. So that hurt her credibility. Granted, she's still a successful content creator, don't get it twisted. She's found a way to twist this into a positive for her. My light went out. Yeah, whatever. She was able to twist this into a positive, so kudos to her. It doesn't end there, sadly. Sometime later, another young woman comes up to the Liz's friend actually and shares evidence of his infidelity again with her. So right now they've split and she's trying to raise the child on her own, which is very difficult. Even if you do have money, raising a child on your own is not an easy task. Now, I feel bad for her, right? It's never good when something like this happens to somebody. I can see how there's some dudes really happy that it happened, but does she deserve it? No, I don't think so. Even if she did make negative comments about men, those are negative comments. This is her life, and now she's going to live a life basically raising a child on her own with a guy that she can't trust. That's not great. It's not a great situation. And now looking at the kid growing up, that can be rough. Now, the next person we're going to look at is called the New Trophy Wife. That's a funny name. That's a fun name. I'm not going to lie. That's another fun name. Now, this is a bit of a darker story, so get prepared. Now, I don't want to stretch this section out because it is a bit of a darker story, so I'm going to summarize. The New Trophy Wife, she teaches women how to find a high value man. And what was odd about her life is the fact that she would constantly move from partner to partner, because it seems like what she was doing was trying to find a high value male who would take care of her and her kids. Now, this is where it gets kind of dark. She was able to find a man that was financially capable, and they got married. The sad thing is, he attacked their daughters. So now she has left him. She did have a video online explaining the whole situation. I think it's now deleted, but I don't want to stretch this out any further than I have to. You have to be careful of the men and women that you get with. This is not a man-only issue. There are women who are just as bad as these men. You need to be able to analyze the partner that you're basically going to be with for the rest of your life. Or even if it's the next 5, 10, 20 years. You need to analyze the people that you're bringing into your life carefully. Not everyone is good. These women were chasing men with money and didn't actually evaluate their character. So then they got with men who are men of low standing character. So here's the question. Are these men still high value men given what they've done just because they have money and access? This is the question that you have to answer for yourself. What are you willing to live with when it comes to your partner? These women were chasing men with money and access, and they didn't evaluate the quality of their character. Now, in all honesty, this could be arguably more important than how much money they have. And always keep in mind, just because someone has money and they're your partner doesn't mean that they'll give it to you. And it doesn't mean that they'll give it to you for free. Everything has a price. This is why you need to be very careful with the kind of person that you're bringing into your life. who exactly are you bringing into your bed? Now, this is just a note from me, right? Just an observation. When it comes to men and women and people, if someone is giving you something for free, be it money, be it gifts, be it nice vacations, you need to be careful of that person. Why are they giving it to you? You shouldn't be so free and willing to accept gifts from people just because they're giving it to you. Now, especially if you're a woman, you need to be careful. If a guy is giving you stuff, he wants something, and you know what he wants. And he's willing to grease the wheel by showering you with these gifts so you feel safe. And keep in mind, there are some women that understand the game. It is a game. They know what's up and they're willing to give the guy what he wants, right? Quid pro quo. You get something, I get something. Win-win. Some people are okay with that. If you are not, be careful accepting the gifts. Maybe don't accept them. Let him know that you're uncomfortable accepting this gift because you're trying to build a relationship. Sometimes it's good to reject a gift so you can build a better bridge between each other. And another aspect of things is some women will tell other women that they have a guy that's giving them stuff and providing things to them. Now, when it comes to that, I understand that there's the social benefit of being able to get a guy. Women seem to have this where there's a social benefit of being able to get a guy and that guy is willing to like spend and give stuff to you. Some women like to share that, similar to men who talk about how many women they sleep with, right? We're all humans and it's a part of the social game. But when your lady friend is telling you that there's this guy giving her things for free, be wary of that. Because last time I checked, a Louis Vuitton bag is like $3,000. And if somebody's getting multiple Louis Vuitton bags, multiple expensive bags and trips and things, they're probably doing something to get it. Nothing in this life is free. And if they're telling you that, hey man, he's doing this just because he likes me, he likes you a lot, I'll tell you that, but like you're probably not telling the full story. Now, not all men are bad men. There are some great guys out there, really good guys. But you need to evaluate people based on a case-by-case analysis of their individual capabilities and personalities, right? You need to be fair in your assessment of these men and women, okay? There are good people out there, but a bad person is going to hide their negative traits and bad intentions. They're going to disguise themselves as a good person because it's easier for them to enact their actions when you think they're a good person. All right, so if you're enjoying the video, go ahead and leave me with a like and a subscription. It really helps the channel so I know what's happening. I know I'm doing good content. And leave me with a comment. What do you think of the video so far? Now, when it comes to the soft life, you need to be careful of the women that are portraying this to you, because some of them do indeed live the soft life. They didn't earn it. They didn't find some rich dude and got with him. They didn't work themselves to death to get to this point. Instead, they were born into it. And what they're doing is trying to get something that they don't have, which is external validation from other people. And in order to do that in an easy way, they show you how lavish and luxurious their lifestyle is. Sometimes you don't need to interact with that kind of content. You need to look at something and understand that this is trying to get something out of me, and it's building negative emotions in me that can be manipulated. You got to say that to yourself and analyze yourself, all right? So be careful watching this kind of content. Now, the next side of things is the fact that there are women that do indeed get married into the rich, soft girl lifestyle, but it comes with shackles. It comes with shackles in the fact that you are now beholden to someone that's more financially well off. They're higher on the socioeconomic ladder, but also you might be marrying into a family that shackles not only you, but your husband. And that being because he doesn't own the money. He has access to it, but it's not his money. He didn't earn it. And thus, he lives his life at the behest of the family members. He lives his life at the behest of the family. And you're going to have to live your life just like that too. Some people are okay with that. Some people are okay with those limitations. Are you? And what exactly are those limitations? Different families are gonna do things differently. You need to be aware of what you're getting into. Now, there are women that not only live the soft life. Well, there are women out there that not necessarily live the soft life, but they live a pretty good life. They live a successful life and they earned it themselves. Now, in all honesty, that is something that we can all look up to. So I wanted to provide some examples of women that, they're not necessarily living the high life. They're not living the soft life, but they do work as good examples that you can work towards. One of which is Issa Rae. She started her own web series online and some way, somehow turned it into a big media company called Hooray Media. I kind of like the pun, I kind of don't, but regardless, she was able to build something out for herself and build her life to be a successful one. That is a prime example of someone who is creative and capable, who built out something for themselves that they didn't have. And they're going to continue building it, hopefully into a grand business. That's what I'm saying. Got to speak positivity into the world. If not for me, for other people. Another example that I want to share is Whitney Wolfe Herd, who was the founder and CEO of Bumble. In addition to that, she was a co-founder of Tinder. She also worked as the vice president of marketing. So you can see where she learned different skills and she learned how to build a social media dating app. And then she built her own. There are opportunities abound as long as you're willing to work hard and think creatively. Granted, I'm not saying that everything's going to be a success. Look at this channel. It's a work in progress. But you have to work to make some progress. The reality is when someone comes to you, male or female, and they're trying to tell you that they know how to build an easy life and they're willing to show you how to do it, be careful of them because they may just be selling you a pipe dream. And that seems to be the case with these influencers online. Male, female, red pill, blue pill, pink pill, black pill. They're trying to sell you on an ethereal thing that may not even make your life better. Instead, it might make your life worse. At minimum, you might lose some money, but you can indeed build a good life for yourself. Now, it does depend on where you're starting, but with a realistic eye and some effort and creativity, you can build a life that you're happy with, that you're comfortable with, and that works for you. Don't let these people online try to sell you pipe dreams, all right? Your life is important. It's your life. Build it and work at it. All right, I'll see you in the next one.